Chapter 1 1003 Rinchen chuckled. That's right. It was too late for me to do anything else. I had no choice. Isn't that a terrible thing to do to your descendants? Basan howled in indignance. Rinchen looked at Basan calmly. You are going to kill me and take my power away from me too. We're no different. Wilbur could not help but sigh at the words. There really was no limit to what humanity was willing to stoop to for survival. An ancestor who laid out an elaborate trap for the future generation. A member of this future generation had wanted to kill his own ancestor to inherit his power. That was just how humanity was, wasn't it? All of a sudden, Basan let out a crazed laugh. At the same time, a bright liquid akin to lava began to flow out of him. As his spiritual energy increased, more and more of the bright lava gushed out. It grew thicker and thicker, forming a lava armor around him. His body grew to roughly 4 meters wide, and a terrifying spirit pressure surged out. Basan had turned himself into a stone giant, completely covered in lava armor. However, that was not the end. As he continued chanting, rings of support spells for strength, speed, weight control, attack power, and the like lit up on his body. Basan unleashed all his powers, and the spiritual pressure coming off his body was even more terrifying than that of the previous stone giant. Rinchen stared coldly at him, nodding his head. Stone domain. It's impressive that you were able to reach this stage of cultivation, and your life force is enough to revive me. That's good. Rinchen's eyes were completely devoid of life. The next second, a crazed Basan threw a punch toward the top of Rinchen's head, out of nowhere. A deafening noise rang through the air. The next second, Basan ran toward his son, picked him up, and charged out of the ancient tomb. Rinchen was caught off guard for a second before he leaped into the air and chased after them. Wilbur shouted too, "Go up!" Wilbur and Ryder leaped out of the ancient tomb as well. Just then, everyone, including Milo and the rest of Basan's tribe, were taking in the sight before them with expressions of horror. Basan had turned into a stone giant, radiating a terrifying aura with his son in his arms. Rinchen, however, had blocked his path completely. Both parties stood across from each other, waiting. Wilbur and Ryder came up and immediately stood together in front of Milo and the rest of the Emerald Province Cultural Relics Department members. Just then, Basan croaked in a hoarse voice, "Honorable Ancestor, there are so many tribe members here, use them as you wish, but let me go." Rinchen scanned the present members of his own tribe, pausing on several people. "Do you know why the ghost statues and the Death Lord existed in my tomb?" Basan shook his head. "Because it is the flesh and blood of the most powerful cultivators that I seek, people who could take down the ghost statues and the Death Lord. Only their blood would be strong enough to rejuvenate my life. These people are all too weak. You're the only one who fits the bill. You're a disgrace of an ancestor. To hell with you!" Basan howled, turning to run at once. Just then, however, Rinchen blocked his path with a single move before grabbing at Basan. A terrifying power enveloped Basan at once. Filled with endless rage and hatred, Basan threw a punch. With a loud collision as the attacks met, Basan was sent stumbling over a dozen meters backward, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Rinchen, however, made his way over calmly.